No doubt he's chasing after Balthazar in the dark. I hope he finds him. They're likely to tear one another to pieces. In her name, report? Would you cast yourself from the tower top?
Who are you? Guards!
Unless I'm sensing doubt. I hear Balthazar has returned, and more importantly, the night song is with him. So you're not an incompetent, but an infidel. Oh, good. Never trust an ancient and mysterious curse to do what you could do with your own mind. Or a knife. And as you've already seen to Isabel's rescue, there's no need for me to keep you any longer. Though I could think of a thing or two. Such single-minded focus. Perfect to be guided by the Absolute's loving hand. Oh, relax and let me have my fun. This paperwork grows tedious. General Thorm will not leave Moonrise without it. Oh, good. I love answering questions. I am in awe of the power the relic must hold to be of such importance. With the Absolute, your fantasies can become more real than flesh. The pleasures of the mind can surpass those of the body. Well, true soul, what about the goblins? Your confidence is delicious. I'm so sorry, my lord. She's an unbeliever outside my control. Then go purge those nerves. Kill something, or hump something, or both. The general will not tolerate any doubt in his servants. As you should be. And you have an opportunity to impress General Thorm. I have a mission for you.
Poor little infidel! Afraid to face the one true God!
Ah, true soul. The rescue of Isabel went as planned, I hear. How eager you are in service of the Absolute, and before I even ordered you to do so. Trying to make me look bad, true soul? I have already been blessed to stand in her presence. It was bliss. Death would not silence Balthazar for long. But dead or alive, he is lost. Are you trying to impress me with your dalliances? Please. I've lain with everything from an ogre to an ooze. And what would you do to those that have failed you?
Then why are you reporting, soldier?
Interrupt me again, and you will serve disciple Balthazar instead. Do you want that?
Traitorous dog!
Are you here to impress me, true soul? I hope so. Because I have a mission for you. With pleasure, General. Indeed. The Absolute's love for him has made him more than mortal. He is unstoppable.
I hope they at least slit that rat Balthazar from navel to nose.
You've been busy, true soul. I heard how you helped Balthazar. He's returned to Moonrise with the night song in his possession. And for what? These harpers. Moonrise will be their tomb, and in death, you will all serve the Absolute. I see you've taken it upon yourself to rescue Isabel for General Thorm, but not before time. There's more work for you yet. Go to the rooftop chapel. You have still earned your audience, and you can explain your failing in person. You can certainly pray for it. Or pray that he doesn't hear that he moves too slowly for your liking. Perhaps you cannot find them. Root them out. Because they are your allies. Off you go then. I've always wanted to try those ballista. She gave me the power to delight with a thought. Or to kill. So stay on my good side. Nothing but battle in that brain of yours. Typical soldier. Incapacitate the cleric, and our forces will seize her. They wait in the shadows, ready to pounce. And I accompanied him. It was destroyed shortly after he left Moonrise. It is something that General Thorm desires, and that he has ordered us to retrieve. That is all you need to know. General Thorm will be most pleased. But there is one more task remaining, before your audience with the Absolute. Lies! You would harm her if you could, I see that clearly, but you'll never have the chance. The facts suggest otherwise. You were ordered to retrieve the artifact. You failed to do so. You don't measure up to either. I knew you'd see sense. I can see. Makes me wonder how deep and dark those talents of yours run. Find him on the roof, and pray that he is forgiving. Oh, do you? Perhaps I'll let you try taking it from me someday. I think I'd enjoy watching you struggle. And beg. No, better yet, show me. I see you like to handle underlings physically. So do I. Plenty. But I hoped someone of your talents would be more ambitious. Oh, I like you. That was inventive and efficient. No, just a jumble of nonsense. Shame. I didn't have you pegged as a simpleton. Insolence bores me. It is obedience I require. How easily you forgive yourself, with no concept of what your failure means.
What's the matter? Are you frightened of your fate?
The relic is beneath the Thorm family mausoleum. That is where you will find Balthazar. But the desperate one who would love such a pathetic man must hunger for greater delights, deep down.
Why are you speaking meat?
But don't pry. The last person who snooped into his secrets lost their head. I believe he uses it as a chamber pot. Whatever Balthazar is looking for, it's crucial to the war effort. Caution. Hesitation. You fear power even when it's offered freely. Would you waste the Absolute's gifts as well? Go and snuff it. And the best way to do that is to serve General Thorm. I have a mission for you. She is formidable. But how many days of passion will you get out of her? How many nights? The Absolute will give you something that can last. Go and retrieve Isabel from Last Light. There is nothing else to discuss until it is done. For a while. But I get bored of people awfully quickly. General Thorm's prayers and preparations must not be disturbed. The rooftop is off-limits to everyone. Go on now. The General is not a man to keep waiting. And this is where you belong. Standing before me, ready to do more of the Absolute's work. But I can caress as well as cut. That's why you should stay on my good side. Now, General Thorm is ready to see you. How curious. I've only ever known Minthara to moan with pleasure when somebody's losing a limb. Ensure that the moon lanterns outside are maintained too. The curse cannot be allowed to touch the Absolute's hall. Excellent timing, true soul. Hardly a surprise. We're protected here, but outside the shadows are hungry. And done quickly, I trust. Remember your place, child. The true souls stand above you, and I above them. In a word, freedom. Perfect. You crave what all true souls should, to be touched by the Absolute. Explain yourself. Not all. The cleric Isabel held the shadows from Last Light, and General Thorm wanted her returned to Moonrise alive. You are desired, yet you choose to sleep alone. Are you sure you're not one of Balthazar's walking corpses? To be precise, General Thorm ordered that you bring her here alive. I am merely an instrument of his will. Protect me. Adorable. Get back on your rounds! The General is not hiding. He's preparing the next stage of our conquest. You really have no idea what's coming, do you? My orders come directly from the General. By all means, go to the rooftop and explain to him why you ignored them. Report to me upstairs when you're done. It will likely be the last thing you do. I already gave orders to your companions. Find the necromancer Balthazar. I spoke slowly, to make sure they'd understand. General Thorm waits at the top of the tower. Hurry on, or he may be tempted to throw you over the edge. Lackey's words. Leave them to the thralls and goblins downstairs. You are a true soul, and there is more work to be done befitting your station. I'll enjoy this by serving General Thorm. I have a mission for you. The General has high expectations of you. You're exceeding them. How confident. We could have had fun, you and I. But duty calls. Enough! True soul, tell the General how the goblins served our cause. A pity. I was starting to like you. Go to the roof. the General awaits.
I did what I had to. I was only following orders. I had no choice.
Rescued, abducted, pleasure, pain. All a matter of perspective. This is where she belongs, with General Thorm.
Or some meat in their bellies, at least.
Like a kitten roaring at a tiger. She gave me the power to cut the thread of life with a thought.
You can't stall forever!
Balthazar is still missing. Your success with Isabel will count for little if you don't find him. Go to the inn, seize Isabel, and bring her back here, alive. Then you will stand before the Absolute. The General has withdrawn to his chapel above. He is not to be disturbed. It does not matter what I prefer. It matters what the General commands. And his orders were that the cleric Isabel be brought to Moonrise alive. The Absolute fills your mind. But you have doubt and anger in your heart, not love. That is for General Thorm to say. He's ready to see you. You long to be touched. A shame we're preparing for war, or I might find time for you. But all you truly need is the Absolute. There is a relic that General Thorm requires. He sent his most trusted advisor, disciple Balthazar, to retrieve it. Why not? What's the point in power if you don't get to have a little fun every now and again? Take one from Balthazar's chambers. The General is the Absolute's chosen. Serving him is a great privilege, one that I'm beginning to doubt you deserve. All quiet. Do you suppose the Absolute's enemies are resting, soldier? What a disappointment you are! Fine. Talk to the bugbear quartermaster. Tell him he's to share my secret stash with you. The shadows have swallowed last light. But the cleric Isabel is not with us. I ordered you to bring her here alive. General Thorm? I don't know who you think you are to disturb these proceedings, but I will exact your contrition from your flesh. That won't keep my blade from your throat if you continue to disappoint me, you blasphemous little wretch! But later, perhaps. General Thorm is ready to see you. Then he must have failed to make the urgency of his mission clear. I do not want to see you again until the relic is secure at Moonrise. We do not need to trust them. The Absolute's design requires many threads, not all of them of the finest fabric. Let's see if there's anything interesting in this brain of yours. I'm being unkind. Anyone might have struggled with such imperfect tools. Goblins are prone to failure. We had best hope they don't forget themselves, or I'll have to send you out there to calm them down. But your utility to our cause has only just begun. The goblins. Tell me how they suffered. And the goblins, General. True souls share thoughts. They do not steal them. Guards! We have a spy! Of course, my lord. Thank you. Even so, you served the General well in this matter of the night song. The final judgment should be his. Boys, make them bleed. The Absolute's plan hasn't changed, not a jot! We hold the line! Yes. Word of the Absolute's mercy, and mercy is not in her vocabulary. I hope you're a better fighter than you are a lover. I have a mission for you, direct from General Thorm. To take without asking, to feel without doubting, and to kill without consequence. You can be among them. I have a mission that will earn you the General's favor. You visited Last Light, and you brought about the deaths of everyone who sheltered there. However, a blunt implement can still be of use. General Thorm has a mission for you. I choose to serve, and I'm glad to. Your words are dangerously close to heresy, true soul. If they do, Balthazar will pull himself back together again. Nier won't. His usefulness has expired. There is an old inn nearby called Last Light. Some rabble is sheltering there, along with a cleric named Isabel. We have a friend on the inside watching her. You dare show yourself here after all you've done? Whose then? We are instruments of her design. We do not question our role. We simply fulfill it.
Your corpses will look magnificent hanging from the parapets!
East, in a blemish of moon's glow, piercing the dark. It is aptly named, this last light. The fact that you seem to know this place, these people, should make your task all the easier. And what a fine child it would be. But you didn't come here to tear the wings off insects.
You failed to retrieve the artifact. You failed to protect your true soul. You do not deserve to live.
Please. I've been inside you.
You're ready.
I've dealt with too much ineptitude already today, and my patience is wearing thinner than a necromancer's bedmate.
I was hoping you'd be able to help with something more important, but you're only fit to muck out the jail cells.
They are yours. You can release them, kill them, or feed them to each other for all I care. Just deal with them.
If so much as a rat crosses that bridge, cut its throat!
One true soul already failed in this next task. You must do better. The Absolute's blessings have far greater value than any price you could name. Be wise. Obey. Simply void. But why? Why would you not embrace her, worship her? She'll be back on her feet soon. The General often prefers the dead to the living. They're more malleable. A worm that knows it is a worm. Had you only revealed it sooner, I would have entrusted this task to someone worthy. So why are you here, instead of out there looking for him?
Gods!
I've never lain with a Githyanki. It looks like this one nearly broke you in half. How invigorating.
That true soul did this. I was blind to miss the signs.
Have I not been clear? Find Balthazar. And more importantly, the relic he holds. Neither of which, you'll notice, are here. The tower doesn't stink like an overstuffed cemetery. Which means Balthazar hasn't returned. But some missions require warm bodies and quick minds. That's why I need you.
How could you do this to us? To Ketheric? To the Absolute? Silence! What are you waiting for?
But I will let the General explain that to you. You served him well in the matter of the night song, after all. My. Your lust for the neck pricker is succulent. I'd like to take a bite out of him myself. Here in the seat of the Absolute's power, your authority over them is complete. They will obey any command. Yes, and he failed to find it. Little wonder he hasn't returned here. You've seen how the General deals with incompetence. They bleed. Go to the rooftop chapel. Retrieving the night song has earned you an audience with General Thorm. And you can explain your failing on the other matter in person. I can see why the Absolute might be hungry to dig deeper into that mind of yours. I certainly am. Let's see if you can hold my interest. How funny. How sad. You think you're going to survive this, don't you? Do. Have fun.
Gods!
You have used the wizard well. It is disciple. I'm going to have to teach you some obedience. Fascinating to see someone so favored squander the regard of the Absolute. How very sad. You haven't disappointed me yet, true soul. I hope for your sake you're on Balthazar's trail. The Great Liberator! You should go and join your goblin friends out in the curse. Let me make sure I understand this. You're claiming that General Thorm gave you the wrong soldiers. Forget your love. I have 17 husbands scattered across the coast shores. They are mere meat. The General does not ask. He speaks his will, and it is so. In her name. The Absolute doesn't demand celibacy. Only obedience to her design.
Come on! Face me!
Pity. I thought you had a little more use in you. Plus, if that wasn't enough, you've already rescued Isabel from last light. What an eager little thing you are.
You have betrayed me. You have betrayed General Thorm. You have betrayed our god!
But we have lost contact with him. Go there. Aid Balthazar if you can. And bring the relic home.
What now? General Thorm has his precious cleric of Seluna by his side, but he's still short a necromancer.
But unfortunately, it is not all you have done.
You heard the General. The goblins are yours. Deal with them however you wish.
Thanks to your interference, she is dead, and the General is most displeased.
I see you've been rejected in the past. Do not worry. The Absolute loves you, and that is all that truly matters. Whatever has become of him, it is the relic that matters.
You freed the Night Song! Don't fret about what you do and do not understand. General Thorm will tell you whatever you need to know. He is ready to see you. Where's the fun in that? Everyone, keep watch and ensure that nobody passes.
Make your move!
Anything of note to report?
You blame the Absolute's chosen for your failure.
But enough of my daydreaming. General Thorm is ready to see you.
A spy! Say a last prayer to your god if you have one. You belong to us now.
Meat. Fodder. I asked for anything of note. And? They reject the god who raised you.
She must have liked you. Such a shame she'll never smile again. But I'll enjoy the memory of this moment.
And for what? That little firefly buzzing around overhead? I'll crush you first, then her, and in death, you will all serve the Absolute. You've turned your back on our chosen in the most heinous way, and our retribution will be terrible! I enjoy killing those so much more. Either you show patience, or I'll show you some of my talents in the dungeons. The Absolute's bidding will be done! You have quite the imagination. But that's all it can ever be with you two. Imagination. The Absolute offers the real.
Control your emotions. When you come to her, you must allow her love to push out all other feeling.
You're rather familiar with the details of his failure. As if you were there to witness it.
Or she will consume you.
Very pragmatic, but very boring.
She gave me everything I wanted.
Surrender, and I'll kill you quickly. That may be. But General Thorm wanted one of them returned to Moonrise alive. The cleric Isabel.
I don't get anxious, I get impatient. You have your mission.
I didn't expect you to do that.
Exquisite. You're brimming with power already. But the Absolute can give you even more. You took pity on one of Shah's sorry little followers. Or was it genuine affection? Let's take a closer look. You came here to answer the Absolute's call. Let's see what you're made of.
As if you did nothing to prevent it, perhaps. Are you ready to stand by his side? In the presence of the Absolute herself?
Enough! You serve General Thorm. A soldier does not question orders or choose whether to accept them.
It was you. You destroyed the Night Song.
Guilty, then. My lord?
I'll strip your bones clean.
The Absolute guides our swords! You have nothing! Perhaps I'll take you to my chambers one evening. Give you some inspiration.
Your role in her design is to serve those who bring it into being.
Of course. And when Baldur's Gate falls, it won't be long until those that serve General Thorm well will rule the Sword Coast alongside him.
Boys, make this traitor bleed.
Of course not, my lord. Thank you.
You hid it well. I thought you'd be another notch on my bedpost, but instead I'll make a trophy of your bones. Aside from her heresy, every soul sworn to another god is stolen from ours. Cut this fool down! The shadows around the mausoleum are deep and hungry. You'll need a moon lantern to survive them.
Death would not silence Balthazar for long. But dead or alive, he is lost. General,